In photography and filmmaking, we say f8 and be there. This is a mantra that I've kept in the back of my mind ever since watching Paul Nicklin's Red Collective film, where he actually opens with this line. But what exactly does that have to do with shooting on the Sony 100-400? Picture this. You're filming at a Leafs game, you're in the opposing end's corner filming one of the players skating as fast as he possibly can toward you. He uses the entire width of the ice to get the goalie moving and hopefully bite on his deke. All the while, you're sitting in this corner on a stool, trying to keep focus for this potentially iconic, once-in-a-lifetime shot. No pressure. f8 just happens to be the magic aperture that still gives a cinematic, shallowish depth of field while still giving you a great opportunity to get the shot when filming a high-action situation like sports and wildlife. I think that a lot of us get caught up in the shallow depth of field game, and when most cinematographers look at purchasing their first telephoto zoom, they immediately look at the 70-200 f2.8 lenses, myself included. In sports and wildlife cinematography, some of the best, most iconic shots are shot at a deeper depth of field, so you're able to have the beauty of the world also play out with your character. In my hockey reference, you're able to still make out the crowd reacting to the goal or hit of their favorite players. Let's take this in a different direction and move into football, where the number of players on the field is much larger and you need to capture the intensity of the defensive players while also potentially capturing the snap down the line at the start of the play. You wouldn't want to lose out on the details and reactions of the players because you're only focused on one specific player. Now, that's not to say that absolutely everything will be in focus at f8. When you're shooting at a focal length of 200mm, or in this case 400mm, the compression that you get shooting at that length will still give you plenty of background bokeh that a lens like the 35mm focal length would probably be lacking at f8. Now, this is probably going to be an obvious note to make, but one I feel like I should make anyways. You're going to need some kind of support when shooting with a lens this long, even if it's just shoulder rigging the camera so that you get some more stability while shooting at such a long focal length. But if you're shooting wildlife and have to be in a position for a long time, tripod's always going to be your best friend. I won't go too much further into how I rig up my cameras because I've got another video coming for that later. But the 100-400 itself is an absolutely gorgeous lens. It's large and it's not cheap, so you should really be sure it'll suit your needs as a filmmaker before jumping in and spending the almost, let's say like $4,000 after taxes. It's also not an easy lens to travel with, as it takes up like a good chunk of your camera backpack or probably all of your sling bag. But if you needed to safely capture the action of wildlife as a sports or wildlife cinematographer, it's an incredible piece of equipment and well worth the high cost. Hey, hopefully that video was educational or entertaining in some way for you. What I can tell you is that the Sony 100-400 has been one of my favorite lenses since I got it. It's sharp, it has great features built into it, which I didn't really talk about because I feel like there's 1,000 other videos that do talk about that. But that magic number of f8 is, I think, what more people need to know about, and now you know. Paul Nicklin's also great. You should really check out a lot of his content. I love nature documentaries, I love wildlife cinematography, and he does some of the best. So you should really go check his stuff out. And if you like filmmaking, outdoor sports cinematography type stuff, that's what I do here. And I'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe. See ya. Bye. 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 Awkward.